This is the Fifth Estate, coming to you from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi, Kenya, and Professor Mutahi Nguni. This Sunday, we will explain William Ruto to the country. We know that some of you do not care, but for those of you who do, hear us out. When a team of us worked at State House for Uhuru Kenyatta under Professor Mutahi Nguni, we were assigned a few state officers to wait on us. One day, my colleague asked the elderly lady who served us tea, "What is your name?" She dropped the cup of tea in horror. Nobody had asked her this question before. She had no name. She was just an object. Nobody saw her. And this was also true of the security men, the secretaries with shiny weaves, and the cleaners who all looked alike. No one saw them. But here is the scary part. If we never saw these Watus, they saw us anyway. And if we did not talk to them, they felt nothing. What is more, they understood our moods and read us like a book. As outsiders, they possessed some powers over us. It was beyond scary. And this is the story of Ruto. In the corridors of power, he was always an outsider, treated as an underclass who did not go to finishing school.
Under Mzee Moi, Ruto was the tigger in the room. He had a voice, but no hearing. Nobody saw him. He was just an object in the room, serving milky tea and the sugary mandazis that Moi loved. Although he had a name, he had no face. But what was scary is this. Ruto felt nothing. He was as dry as a military biscuit. But behind this hardcore shell was a foxy schemer. The young Ruto listened to every conversation from the shadows, as Moi, the grandmaster of politics, schemed with his generals. Then he would take detailed notes on power and politics. Come 2007, the Kibaki-Raila Grand Coalition was formed. Then Ruto got an upgrade from Moi's tigger to minister. But he was still an outsider. The Luo nation did not embrace him, and the Ngemi nation was suspicious of him. Although in government as a minister, Ruto was still an outsider, lurking in the shadows. Then after 26 months, he was fired. He was left to dither in the wilderness, eating bitter roots and honey. But from the outside, he watched and recorded every mistake Raila made. Babaman should have become president after Kibaki. But Foxy Ruto knew why this was not possible.
And then there was Uhuru Kenyatta, the prince. If Uhuru joined politics in 2002 and Ruto joined politics in 1992, Ruto was already 10 years Uhuru's senior in politics when he became Uhuru's deputy president. He had attended the Moi School of Politics and had done his internship under Baba, the Enigma himself. But with these credentials, Ruto was still an outsider in the Uhuru government. No name, no face. Just an object in the corridors of power. And what was scary, he felt nothing. But Ruto had one advantage in being an outsider. He studied all the missteps of being in power. He understood what works, what doesn't, and why. And he used this to destroy Uhuru. First, he knew that Uhuru was a prince, a man of panache, an appropriate gentleman, and a hardcore classist who saw outsiders like Ruto, Sholei, and Sudi as earthlings, including Joho with his D+ at KCSE. To Uhuru, these were simpletons. Armed with this knowledge, Ruto decided to push Uhuru into supporting Babaman, a man of his class. And this is how 2022 happened. The outsider had won. As for Kikuyus, he only used them to become president as an outsider using the hustler nation. Whether they like him or not as president, they will take him nowhere.
This is another reason why Ruto is an outsider and feels nothing. You see, Uhuru Kenyatta was the last colonial governor in Kenya. Let me explain. In the beginning, there was Jomo Kenyatta. He was born in 1895, 1 year after the Berlin Conference of 1894 that created African boundaries. As Ngugi wa Thiong'o taught us, Jomo was the first African colonial governor of Kenya. Everything the colonizers did, Jomo did, and he made Kenya a colony of Kikuyu oligarchs. In 1978, Mzee Moi took over and he continued the colonial project. Moi was like a rocking chair. He kept us busy, took us nowhere. Like the colonizers, his principle was to keep us hoping, never satisfied. Then there was Mzee Kibaki. If Kikuyus were the chosen people by the colonizers, Kibaki ensured it happened. That is why he borrowed trillions of shillings to build a super highway to Kikuyu villages. As the last colonial governor of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta finished the last colonial project to boost the chosen Kikuyus. If Kibaki built 2,000 kilometers of roads countrywide, Uhuru built 2,000 kilometers of roads in Ngemi. Now, Ruto is the outsider. He is opposed to the idea of a chosen people in Kenya, and he is with Babaman, the enigma. How will you stop him?